Right, in this video I just want to give a quick rundown of some of the accessibility features that are present in Amazon's Fire TV. So let's get started. We're going to go to our settings. First one we're going to look at, if we go to remotes and Bluetooth devices, let's put our pin in. Right, in this screen you can do things like adding additional Fire TV remotes, adding game controllers, but for our intents and purposes, other Bluetooth devices, which includes things like speakers, headphones, remotes, keyboards and mice. So let's see if we can add a Bluetooth keyboard. So add Bluetooth devices. I will turn on the keyboard and set it to connection, and hopefully, there we go. It's found a Bluetooth keyboard, pairing the device. Bluetooth keyboard is now connected. Now with a paired Bluetooth keyboard, I can use it for basic controls. Here I'm using the cursor keys. I can go up and down. It's escape to go back. And I'm back on the main interface. And again, I can use cursor keys for the spatial navigation. And to activate things, I can use the spacebar. Putting the keyboard aside now, I'm going to go back to the remote. So now we're in the accessibility section, and we've got a few interesting things like subtitle, Alexa subtitles, but I want to have a look at Voice View, the built-in screen reader for Fire TV. And let's turn Voice View on. It will start talking at me for quite a bit, so the next voice you'll hear is Voice Views.
Voice View ready. Voice View screen reader. Voice View on. 1 of 9. Use up and down to move between items. Provide spoken feedback as you navigate items on the screen.
Okay, so very similar to many other screen readers you may have used before. We're navigating still with the spatial navigation, in this case on the remote again, but we could also be using the keyboard that we paired before. And as we're moving through the screen, you see there is a visual focus indicator, and it will basically announce the accessible name of controls as we're moving through it, give hints where available, etc. There are settings. I can change the reading speed, verbosity, speech volume, sound volume, key echo, all the good stuff. There is also a tutorial, and we're just going to go through that one.
Reading speed. Verbosity. Speech volume. 90% of device volume. 4. Sounds volume. 40% of device volume. Key echo. Characters. Punctuation level. Sum. Voice View tutorial. 8 of 9. Learn how. Voice View tutorial. Are you new to Voice View on Fire TV Stick HD? Press the play/pause button on your remote to continue the tutorial. The play/pause button is the middle button in the bottom row of 3 small buttons. To exit the tutorial, press the fast forward button. The fast forward button is the right button in the bottom row of 3 small buttons. Locating buttons on your remote. The small button in the top corner of your remote is the power button. The small button just below in the center is the microphone button. You can press and hold the microphone button to search by voice or make an Alexa request. Below this, the large round button inside a ring is the select button. The ring around the select button is the navigation ring and is used to navigate up, down, left and right. The top row of 3 small buttons, from left to right, includes the back, home and menu buttons. The second row of 3 small buttons, from left to right, includes the rewind, play/pause and fast forward buttons. The lower portion of the remote includes buttons for volume, apps and other features. After finishing this tutorial, you can hear the names and descriptions of buttons on your remote at any time by holding down play/pause and pressing select. To continue, press select or press any other key to hear this description again. Tips. Use up and down to move between tips. When done, press and hold select to exit the tutorial. 1 of 12. Enable or disable voice view by holding the back and menu buttons for 2 seconds, 2 of 12. Interrupt voice view speech with a press and hold of the play/pause button, 3 of 12. Adjust voice view speech rate and volume by holding down the play/pause button and pressing up, down, left or right, 4 of 12. To learn the names and descriptions of buttons on your remote, hold down play/pause and press select. Play/pause is the middle button in the bottom row of 3 small buttons. Select is the center button inside the large ring, 5 of 12. Repeat content and usage hints by pressing the menu button, 6 of 12. To access standard menu functions, press the menu button twice quickly, 7 of 12. To enter or exit review mode, hold the menu button for 2 seconds. In review mode, navigate with the left and right buttons, and adjust granularity with the up and down buttons, 8 of 12. To adjust any voice view setting, go to Settings, then Accessibility and then Voice View, 9 of 12. If your remote has a voice button at the top, you can search or launch apps by speaking whilst holding the voice button, 10 of 12. To enable audio description by default, go to Settings, then Accessibility and then Audio Description, 11 of 12. To exit the tutorial, press and hold Select. Use up and down to move between tips, 12 of 12. Voice View Screen Reader, Voice View Tutorial, 8 of 9. Use up and down to move between items. Learn how to use the Voice View Screen Reader.
Okay, so we're going to turn that back off.
Punctuate, key echo, sounds, speech volume, verbosity, reading speed. Voice View on. Voice View. The action you are attempting will result in Voice View being turned off. Turn off button. Voice View exiting.
And there we go. Next up, let's go back one level. We have the text banner feature, which displays an on-screen text box to see what basically what the name or the description of the currently focused item is. Let's turn that on. We get a little explanation tutorial with all the shortcut keys that you can use. Let's keep that on. And as you can see now at the bottom of the screen, we have the text banner. As I move through, in this case, this particular menu, we see that it shows the accessible name for the focused control and any hint text that's been associated with that particular control. There's a tutorial. We can also change things like font size and color. Change the background color, change the opacity, all of those things. Let's turn that one back off. And the last feature I want to have a quick look at is the built-in screen magnifier. Let's turn that on. Again, we get a little tutorial screen with all the special key sequences you can use on your remote control, the key combinations, how to actually zoom in, how to zoom out, how to pan explicitly. So let's OK that one. So now we are navigating with the screen magnifier on. You see in the top right, it gives you an indication of how far you're actually zoomed in, which part of the screen you're looking at. If I now use menu button and then the directional keys on the remote, I can move around. I can zoom in with menu and then the fast forward. So again, I can then use menu and the directional keys to move around. Now it should work if I just do normal navigation, just using the spatial navigation keys. The magnifier will try, as most screen magnifiers do, to keep the currently focused item in view. So it will move the actual viewport of the magnifier to follow whichever element currently has focus. So let's turn that back off. And that was a really short overview of some of the features on the Amazon Fire TV when it comes to accessibility.